High school. It exists. We all go here. Do you like high school? I mean, you're here. But are you currently in a good mood because of high school? Do you like learning about science and math and history? Do you smile at the thought of the Pythagorean theorem? If you do, kudos to you, dude. I'm not going to be someone to get in the way of your joy. But don't you feel like trying to be an adult and grow up feels like jumping out of the nest, but you're not actually a bird? You're a possum. Don't you wish that high school actually taught you some generally pretty useful life skills? For example, do you know how to pay taxes or how to balance a bank account? We need to learn these things at a young age, or else when the time comes for us to move away and live alone, we won't know shit about this, we'll have mental breakdowns, all because of the damn life skills we never learned. And no, I don't mean how to survive in the woods for several years alone. I mean things that apply to our day-to-day lives as we grow up. Taxes, balancing bank accounts, getting through a job interview, even just understanding social cues and making small talk on a date, or meeting new people. Schools teach us academics, which is their main purpose, of course, but I'd much rather learn basic social and life skills mixed in with academics instead of pure unyielding math and science all day, every single day. I'd rather have to decide what I want to study as I get older. Maybe do a few more years of school. It's funny because this brings back in some shape and form the age-old question, when are we ever going to use this? Why not teach us how taxes work instead of teaching us how to find a missing side of a right angle triangle or the positive and negative ions of elements? Sure, I like knowing these things and I find them rather interesting, but I also know nearly the entire periodic table in order at this point in my life, for absolutely no reason. Yet, I don't know what source deductions are. I'd love to know both. In a way, it could be better to start off in high school learning practical and academic things, then have to take an extra year of university or CEGEP to make up for things you didn't learn, and take specialized courses as you decide what you want to do with your life. I'd also love to have a course on social skills, things like introducing yourself to your girlfriend's parents or going on a blind date with a guy you've never met. Do you just be yourself? What if it gets awkward? I know I've certainly messed this one up before. You probably have too at some point. Ever tried to say hi to someone you thought you knew in a public space, but it turned out they were someone else? It's not very fun, I can tell you that. I stood there just staring at this girl like, I know you, we were friends, I know who you are. And this poor girl just kept telling me, like, I don't know you, and I didn't even try and fix it. I just stared at her while she corrected me, and it wasn't fun. But you see, when things like this happen, you realize there are so many ways to ruin a conversation, and such limited ways to fix one. Of course, school will teach you how to read a lot of situations, but once you have friends, there's no need to learn how to deal with them, because we're at school most of the week anyway, and we see the same people for most of our young lives. For instance, here's an awkward social situation. Who here has ever fallen short on cash when trying to buy something? I think we all have without really expecting it, right? How do you react in that situation? I always feel awkward saying, oh, I'll put this back because I'm short 10 cents because of taxes. I'd love to have a social skills class. Long story short, the adult world is confusing. We don't really know what we're doing, and I think I speak for all of us when I say that taxes are confusing. Yeah, I can take a course in university on how to run a business or be a lawyer, but I can't just jump over to a university and be like, I know student loans are a thing and I'm going to be thrown into debilitating debt where I have to survive off of nothing but ridiculously unhealthy ramen for the next few years, but I've got this, even though I don't have a remote idea of how much debt I'll be in and why. Oh God, how much should I spend on groceries this month? I work a minimum wage job and I don't know how to save money. We can avoid this problem. Literally just put in one more course called General Life or something and call it a day. It would take a bit of stress off the day and give us more diverse classes throughout our weekly schedules. So, I vote we add another class to our weekly school schedules. One where we learn practical life skills. Teens these days should know how to balance a checking account, pay their taxes, and handle stupid social situations, don't you think?